This Lenten season, let us delve into the intersection of Filipino spirituality and cultural identity. On the second leg of our Ink book presentation series, join us as we navigate the complexities of faith, uncovering hidden truths and timeless wisdom nestled within the pages of Charleson Ong's novel, White Lady, Black Cries, INKtertwined, exploring faith in Philippine literature.
White is the presence of all colors. He was awakened by this thought as much as by the shaft of crimson light that burst across his mind screen, like the supernova he had recently seen on the National Geographic Channel. It was a feature on giant exploding stars, Death stars, thousands of times larger than our sun. We didn't know when it became ours. It seemed more like we belonged to it. Dead stars were said to send shockwaves across the galaxies and knock other star systems off. The first chapter begins with, it starts with a stampede that a lot of people died. It was actually initiated by an event in 2007. Kasi may nangyari doon, there was a game show na nagkaroon ng malaking event dun sa isang lugar dito sa Manila. And then, malaking premyo, 1 million something. People lined up for it sa Ultra, yung sa isang gym. And then may nangyari, nagkaroon ng sakuna, nagkaroon ng stampede. The people from the back were piling up. So the pressure pushed on and marami na biktima. But again, most of the victims were poor. Right? They were going to this show, they wanted to make money, kumita dun sa premyo. After a while, it would be forgotten. And then I got to think na, in effect, we are a nation of crowds. Laging maraming crowd, pila, EDSA, Of course, the biggest gathering, the biggest crowd we have is the Black Massacre. Every year, millions, almost 2 million before the pandemic. It was the fact that there's never been a disaster like that. Walang, unlike these events abroad, in many places abroad, this sort of religious gatherings, processions, madalas nagkakaroon ng stampede, sakuna. Itong sa Quiapo, at least in my recent memory, nothing like that has happened. So I think that's a miracle for us. That says something, it says a lot about our cultural religiosity. So that got me interested in writing about it. See, if there was really the heart of the city is really that. I think it's Quiapo, it's Quiapo Church. That's the heart of Manila, and kind of devotion. The Black Nazarene is something that the middle class even really readily get into. What's the other big moment in our history? It's 86, right? It's the crowd, that gathering also. That we tend also to attribute to a religious conversion of sorts, spirituality. The church was there. And yet I've always asked whether, is it the same crowd? Bago na naman ang panahon. It's part of me also thinks na suspect na there'll always be a divided sort of society unless those crowds are able to interact or to be the same. Kahit na hindi totally the same. Because I suspect that's a very different crowd. The EDSA crowd is a totally different crowd from this Nazarene gathering. And yet that's we talk of the mass. That's the mass. That's the nation. So is it the same or different kind of devotion? Are we divided along those lines? Because it's a different crowd, different devotion, different values seem to be, and yet maybe at the heart of it, same values are there. Pero maybe the expressions are just so different. So yun ang of that mean? Because I've always thought like, it's such maybe the heart of the city, the heart of our religiosity, and no one, we haven't really thought about it or delved into it in a very in a serious way, investigating the whole. So it's my version. It's my attempt to sort of look at it, see what's there. Maybe I miss, maybe I may, but at least I want to provoke questions. I've no ready answers, but I think the book, a novel, should provoke questions about who we are, where we come from, where we're going. Where are we going, and what are we as a people? So that's maybe at the heart of my tent. It's published by Neil Flores, so they can go online. Punta lang sa neilflorespublishing.com. Other books, ito yung Banyaga, Song of War. This is 100 years of Philippine history, the past century, but ang point of view yung sa Chinese Filipino. From the time 1900 to the EDSA Revolution. So it's Banyaga, which means stranger. And then ito yung Blue Angel, White Shadow. It's set in Chinatown. This is a noir naman, parang detective mo. Saka I'm putting together my short stories with Neil Torres. So we're working on that. I also wrote and co-directed a movie. It's called Tanabata's Wife. That is based on a classic short story by Sinai Hamada. So it's set in the Cordilleras, and we have a Japanese actor. And Charleson Ong, I'm the author of White Lady, Black Rice, among others. That's my latest book. And yeah, I hope you read what's going on in the Philippines, because I think a lot of our history now is going on abroad. Filipinos are abroad mostly. For many reasons, but in fact, some have said that kasi Filipinos are the apostles of whatever. But anyway, I think a lot of history is now occurring abroad. So I hope you continue reading what's happening, what's going on here, keep in touch, and write your stories.